All Tomorrows is a speculative science fiction posthumanism book written by C.M. Kozman, and it's very good, and you really won't be able to understand too much of this video without having read it, so go ahead and order yourself a copy off Amazon, except don't, because you can't, because it doesn't exist. The book takes place several billion years in the future after humanity got bored of being on Earth and decided to terraform Mars because it was there and this is a science fiction story. So they did that and it was alright for a while until it wasn't. The Martians hit their rebellious teenage phase and Earth hit its abusive parent phase, and both planets decided to do a war because it's humanity and that's just kind of what we do when things get too peaceful. Then a billion people died and Earth punched Mars and Mars nuked Earth, and eventually they got tired of killing each other and stopped. Both the Earthlings and the Martians decided that they would stop existing, and if you had a problem with that, you could either A, stop having a problem with that, or B, get your dick chopped off and then die. They created a new subspecies of human called the Star People, which were people who would explore the stars. Naming things is hard. They did that for a while, and things were pretty good for humanity until they found a skeleton in space and decided to build more nukes and supernova bombs that make the nukes blush like little schoolgirls. They were feeling pretty good about their weapons and were stoked to blow some aliens up when some space mosquitoes showed up called the Q and utterly kicked the shit out of all the Star People except the ones they didn't. Shut up, we don't talk about them. As punishment for existing, the Q remade humanity into a bunch of post-human subspecies based on whatever word they could hit on a dartboard in the mosquito break room. There were sad deer people, just kidding, now they're just deer. Elephant people, oops, they're dead. Dolphin people, bug-eating people, bat people, worm people, brick people. Pancake people, ground vaginas, oh they're dead. Parasite people, mouse people, oops, they're dead too. The human equivalent of bonobos. Ogre people, wait, they're dead. Fishermen? Furries, arrogant dickheads, dumber furries. Tall people who got killed by chickens, yes that's canon, would I lie to you? And the Q just sort of fucked around with them for a while before they went out for space cigarettes from the space corner store and never came back. The myriad of human subspecies slowly started to learn how to be people again, or just died, or some combination of the two, and as their civilization started to flourish again, they started to focus on things that weren't having a war with each other all the time. Things like art, painting, music, orgies, being a snake, infrastructure, tools, growing a spaceship, learning how not to be a brick, pottery, language, turning into a boat, medicine, balls, economics, farming, becoming dinosaurs, hunting, more orgies, forming symbiotic relationships, technology, communication, history, realizing the Z-axis exists and then getting killed by it, genetic engineering, doing a war, wait. So the arrogant dickhead species decided that they were better than everyone else because their planet had better Wi-Fi or something, and so they didn't join the other species sorority and instead turned themselves into giant black balls, and went to wreak havoc on the assholes of all their inferior cousins. These dickheads were called the Gravitals because gravity is a thing and they were way into it, and then they killed everyone except the Bug Eaters. The Bug Eaters were pretty stoked about not being dead until the black balls decided to see if they could fuck things up even worse than the Q fucked things up, and then they got fucking. Everything was shit for everyone who wasn't a black ball, and overall the galaxy was just kind of a really crummy place to live. Meanwhile, while all this was going down, a bunch of humans who weren't altered by the Q were just hanging out in space, farting, altering their physiology, and doing technology and stuff, and decided that they weren't huge fans of black balls, so they had another war and killed all the black balls except for the ones they didn't. Shut up, we don't talk about them. The farting space goblins moved all the tortured remains of the bug people to new worlds and had their octopus fetuses watch over them for a while until some new species developed and things were kind of almost alright again. They even made some alien friends who helped them find the Q and clapped their mosquito asses back to horny jail, and then everyone died at the end.